and if the greatest tragedy of all time did not arise from ignorance, but from pure and absolute genius. Think about it. We tend to associate error with a lack of knowledge, but the cosmic disaster that divided the spiritual universe proved exactly the opposite. Today, we will focus on the epicenter of this catastrophe, the fatal error of the ancient celestial hosts, beings of unimaginable power who, with full clarity, chose to walk towards their own ruin. If you are captivated by these unfathomable mysteries that operate behind the scenes of our reality, this is the moment to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue to explore these deep themes and always bring intriguing content to you. Let's go? To understand the weight of this error, we need to completely forget the way we, humans, function. Our mind is like a dark room that is gradually being illuminated. We depend on the passage of time, on repetition, on right and wrong, to finally comprehend life. The mind of celestial beings, on the other hand, is like an explosion of light. There is no gradual learning process. At the exact moment they were brought to life, the entire complexity of creation, all cosmic laws, and the profound knowledge of who they were delivered to them in a single flash of consciousness. They knew everything. They perfectly understood their power, their hierarchy, and the unbearable beauty of their own existence. But the possession of all this splendor brought with it an unrelenting demand, the test of voluntary loyalty. The fatal error began to take shape when the Creator's master plan was placed before them. It was revealed to these supreme intelligences that they would not be the center of the story. The purpose presented to them required that they donate their grandeur to serve, more specifically, to act on behalf of a creation that was yet to come. Human beings, material creatures, infinitely more vulnerable and limited, who would be the target of an unprecedented divine love, to the point that the divine itself promised to incarnate among them in the future. It was at this moment of revelation that the great fracture occurred. A part of these brilliant consciousnesses looked at the humility required in this plan, and then looked at their own magnitude. They became intoxicated by their own reflection. The fatal error was not an accidental stumble or a confusion about the rules. It was a cold, lucid, and extremely calculated choice of cosmic narcissism. They assessed the perfection they had, desired an autonomous glory that did not belong to them, and preferred the illusion of being masters of themselves in darkness to being servants in the realm of light. And it is precisely because of this chilling lucidity that the fall became definitive. We often wonder why these entities were never given the chance of forgiveness. The harsh truth is that mercy only finds space where there is the vulnerability of ignorance. We change our attitude because we discover over time that we were wrong. We receive forgiveness because for most of life we act blind by emotions, circumstances, or simple ignorance. These beings had no blind spots. They calculated all variables, visualized all the suffering and eternal deprivation that rebellion would cause, and yet took the step towards the abyss. When a will makes a decision backed by absolute and instant knowledge, that decision freezes forever. Their mind locked itself inside. We have confirmation of this terrifying state through the behind the scenes of spiritual battles documented throughout history. Priests on the front lines facing these forces report an immutable behavior that has not changed since the 1st century. During confrontations, these entities demonstrate feeling the overwhelming torment of having lost the presence of God. The memory of the joy and beauty they threw away consumes them violently. However, when pressed about the possibility of turning back, the response is blood-curdling. Pride, proves to be infinitely greater than agony. They openly confess that even immersed in indescribable ruin, they would commit the same fatal mistake again. It is a portrait of a vanity that prefers its own eternal destruction to having to bow once more. Knowing this completely changes our perspective on our own mistakes, doesn't it? We have the luxury of time and the immeasurable gift of a second chance. Tools of mercy that these superior intelligences lost at the very first moment. How does this view of the relentless choice of fallen angels impact you? Leave your comment down below. I really want to know your opinion on the absolute weight of this free will, and if you had already thought about evil from this angle. And of course, don't leave the video without confirming if you have already liked it, and if you are subscribed to follow our upcoming journeys through these fascinating mysteries. Stay in peace, and until our next meeting.